all the professionals who are looking to clinical files that may not be allowed. I think that the main issue is that a clinician is only allowed to access that clinical record if they are having a consultation, an appointed consultation. And if not, they have to ask for permission, for example, in the condition that they are having a kind of telephone consultation, they have to allow for permission, and then the system allows it. But they have to do it practically.
Okay, thanks very much indeed, everyone. Look, I think information sharing is absolutely fundamental to shared care, and we could go on debating this for a long, long time and getting the details of it, and it would be very interesting. But in the interest of time, if I could ask Robert just to sum up the discussion and the day. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you. Well, sum up. It's been a very interesting afternoon. It seems to me that care and quality is key, and that we can definitely aim high. It's not necessarily a thing that's very expensive to aim high, but that's where we ought to be going to. Interoperability and information governance, as Richard said, is always something that's always highlighted, and sharing of information is key for us if we're going to upscale and if we're really going to use this information. Quite often, though, I think we sometimes hide behind information governance. Actually, the sharing of information should be a key priority. So actually, we've got to work this out. And I think that that's one of the things that we'll be taking forward as one of the key actions. I think we really need to move to this supported self-care model whereby the person is much more in control of their information, as Ignacy says, and that we should really be looking to making this much more patient and citizen-centered, where they own the information. And I also think there was messages put out that we should be going to the market to get them to be not the problem, but actually the solution to some of these issues. And we'd be better to try and ask them for those questions so that they can come out with the solutions according to the outcomes that we would like to see put in place. Thought we had a really interesting component about where innovation is really key, and that we really need to move to a culture change and stop talking about it and start doing it, and that really this is all around the people creating and implementing ideas that add values. So in conclusion, one of the reasons for us being here today is because of CASA and our will and wish to continue this sharing of information. And actually, we've shown that with the examples that were shown today, both in Scotland and Catalonia and also in Ghent, that we are probably much stronger to solve these problems together, and that we could actually use the resources of the EU to try and make sure that we implement this, and as well as linking this to research and those links with industry. So later on, today we're going to be launching the Kent Innovation Pioneer Hub. And that's a focus that can bring together some of the issues that have been talked about today, but how that we, as Kent, we have a focus of innovation and we start to be recognized as a Kent focus for innovation. And it's all the people in this room and also people who are on the front line who are the people who can contribute to that innovation. We are very much wanting to link this to the Academic Health Science Network in terms of some of the structures of the NHS, but also other networks across the UK. And one of the fundamental things that we are going to be doing is working with our EU partners to see whether we can have a series of these hubs across our regional partners, and that we will be trying to put together a bid that allows us to get some resources out of the EU to do that. I think it's very important to say that innovation, and the hub in particular, is not there to be in competition with anybody. It's actually there to try and coordinate and bring the areas that are going on already. And as Klaas told us about it, this is about a culture, and we know that innovation goes on at all sorts of different levels. So it is a question of how can we use the innovation hub but also the integration pioneer to barrier bust some of those things that are stopping us get to the place we want to, whether it's around quality or information or use of technology. So I'd like to draw the meeting to a close. I think the speakers have really given us a different insight into what can be done outside of Kent. I know that there are quite a few of these initiatives already on in Kent, but somehow we need to move this to be much more upscaled and at much greater pace and scale to try and meet the present challenges of the NHS and social care, and how we increase the number of people who are contributing to this. So the idea out of this innovation hub will be that we will have a concentrated view of what some of the challenges, and we'll be trying to work with the people who are engaged in the Integration Pioneer Group to see how we can also then include people at all the different levels, and in particular the people who are delivering services, care home staff, clinicians, managers, so that all together we try and create this culture of people working together to implement ideas that add value. I love that statement. But it isn't to stop the need for a lot of this implementation to go on at a local level. So it needs to link to the local initiatives that are going on. So I'd like you to congratulate the speakers on their talk today. So I'd just be grateful if you could just give them a round of applause. And I'm particularly grateful to all of them because they've made a lot of effort to come here today. They've travelled a long way, and I think it's been great for us to have that access. And then I'd also like to thank the people who've made today a success. So I'd like to congratulate Francesca Venato, Sarah Collins, and Claire Ansell from CETA. So again, can we give them a round of applause?